on stream for all you
Yeah,
Smurfs
there
out
we
there.
go. You'll get him. Ooh. I just can't help it, man. I'm oohing today.
Oh, hey. Changing out a card. Interesting. So, players going to get ready here and shuffle up. This will be a very grindy matchup, to say the least. Definitely going to come down to a top deck war, no doubt.
Yeah, I really think that Alexander is going to be favored in this matchup. He has Lingering Souls.
I was going to say, I think Lingering Souls wins the day.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how many Maelstrom pulses that John has here, to kind of just sweep those all up, but I still think that Lingering Souls is going to put Alexander ahead here.
Yeah.
Mid-range decks tend to end in top deck wars. Correct.
Yeah, but I just think the Mirror Breaker is the Lingering Souls.
Now I'm interested. Yeah, Jay, pay attention here. Because, again, both these decks are very similar. It's just that Alexander is splashing white for, like, Path to Exile, Lingering Souls, potentially a Siege Rhino if he wants to go that big, but namely for, like, the removal and Lingering Souls, because that just puts him so far ahead of, like, any other, like, fair rock deck. You know, whether it be, like, Jun or Rock or even, like, Grixis, because Grixis is essentially like a rock deck. You know, has a hard time dealing with this card.
Yeah, so he's going to take the Thoughtseize here on turn 1. I agree with that. You just strain the other cards in his hand for the time being.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, we'll see if he's playing the Tastiger, but that's kind of a nombo with Bob, but I do like it because you can't activate it with the rock mana.
Ooh, is that a Bitter
Yeah,
Blossom?
it is a Bitter Blossom.
Okay, that's one of the better tools for this matchup, honestly.
So, I mean, there's the pet card we were kind of talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mentioned earlier. No, I like it
It's a
because
nice art for that card, too.
I
All
do like
Bitter
the
Blossom
art.
arts are nice.
Well, it's nice too because like it pumps your Tarmogoyf +2. So now all Tarmogoyfs are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when they come into play. So that's going to be really scary.
So John running this Bitter Blossom right into the face of that Abrupt Decay tells me that John has just no fear.
Gargamel is going to lose to a Flying Smurf generator. You are not wrong. We concur with said statement.
No, honestly, I still think that Alexander's spot's pretty great. He's just going to find the perfect land off the top. Make him sack that ooze.
Feeling a little bit blessed by the magic gods.
Oh, yeah, that's... You know what, man? When you're as good as Alexander is with this deck, it's just always there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be able to clean up this Liliana nicely, though, with the Treetop Village. Play a tapped land and pass the turn.
No, correct. And I do see a Tarmogoyf in his hand.
Yeah, so he's just going to go ahead and play a Tireless Tracker here, follow it up with a tapped land, get a clue. You know, put himself ahead in the card fight.
Yep, just draw more cards. That's the name of the game here.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, this is just going to be a super grind, like, all the time. Like, don't expect to see one player have more than one creature out most times unless, you know, the other player is going to start running away with the game. Then you'll see them start to amass the battlefield. Otherwise, you're going to see maybe one to two creatures out at all times.
Ooh, that's a good draw there for this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Liliana, the last hope, going to go ahead and plus up here on the Tireless Tracker.
Doesn't kill it, but does nerf it a little bit, so shrinks it down to a 1/1.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 1/1. It's kind of weird. -2, -1.
Yeah, it's a weird minus.
Yeah.
Effect.
I don't, that's so... Because I think -2/2 would just be inherently broken. That card would be so good.
Yes.
Oh, God.
-2/2.
Like, you just play, like, 4 of those, 4 Veil. It's just, like, good luck having a creature. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, -2/2 would just be, like, super bonkers.
Card would be...
I guess it's a throwback to, like, Contagion, because it gave a -2/-1 counter, but that's, like, super old Magic.
Yeah, that's Magic that we don't see anymore.
But, yeah, like, -2/-2 would just be, like, ugh. Card would feel like a mythic rare. To be honest,
rare.
like a super secret double ultra
Super
mythic
Saiyan
rare.
mythic rare.
Like only one can exist in the world. Like Kaiba only has the only one, but Yugi has like the perfect counter to it, which is like a flip and rip.
Fair. I'll beat you.
so we've defeated the Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic gods at the same time.
All right, back to the game. So, Tarmogoyf here for Alexander after combat, swinging for 2 damage with the Liliana. Gonna knock her down to 2. This Tarmogoyf's a big boy. This Tarmogoyf is a real big boy.
Yeah, no, because he has, what? Creature, enchantment, tribal, land, sorcery, instant, planeswalker. I think they're just missing an artifact.
Well, I think they're not counting for tribal there. Because it
Yeah,
should be
correct.
7, right?
No, I have
Yep,
6.
there it is. No,
Is it 7?
Yeah. Creature,
They have
tribal,
the traditional
enchantment,
4.
land, sorcery, instant, planeswalker.
Yeah, it's enchantment, planeswalker, yeah, I forgot the other one. Okay. So you just need an artifact, and then you'll just get maximum Tarmogoyf.
Mm-hmm. I think the 7/8 Goyf's good enough.
Yep.
Alex didn't even find a Lingering Souls, and he's just so far ahead here. I think 1 Lingering Souls would be enough to seal it up for Alex.
I think his position, even currently, is just almost good enough to finish it up. But those treetop villages can't get in the way of that Goyf. Can't kill it, but, we'll slow it down. It should be
John
a 7-6.
does have outs. John does have outs here, though.
Mm-hmm. Bunch of mana here for Kalidas.
That's really not where you want to be at this point.
I mean, it's good if he can follow it with a removal spell, but still going to be kind of hard pressed here to beat a Tarmogoyf and such a growing tireless tracker.
Mm-hmm. No, you can forget about the tireless tracker. The 7/8 is the big problem.
Beefy like Gargamel. I think Gargamel's going to lock this game up here.
Oh yeah, no,
he's definitely advantaged here.
Yeah, advantage bar Gargamel.
Where's Fatal Push when you need it?
So Liliana the Last Hope going to be cashed in here to get back this tireless tracker. Not the tireless tracker, the Tarmogoyf. So we have a pair of 7/8 staring at each other.
The only thing that's kind of awful here is that this Liliana's going to get to snipe this Kalidas or this Tarmogoyf and not one of the treetop villages, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty bad for John.
I don't know. Let's see Gargamel get after this. He's going to be killing all the Smurfs. He's hungry.
Yep.
Smurf pie for the Gargamels.
Smurf pie, baby. Kalidas pie is more like it.
Yep. I do like the tick down here. Probably going to sack off the Kalidas as the Tarmogoyf is just big enough to chump block again the other Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, and he's got 4 cards in hand as compared to John's 1. Oh man, is he going to sack
Is he really going to get rid of the Tarmogoyf? Oh,
buddy, what did you do?
Uh-oh. Gargamel's getting pie now.
And he's got a Lingering Souls in hand.
Ooh.
That's my favorite card for the matchup.
It's the best card in the matchup.
How can you... So, try and run me through the rationale of sacking that Tarmogoyf.
I can't.
Are you really... What is his last card? Is it removal that he's going to try and get rid of one of these creatures and make a zombie?
I guess, but he's just taking so much damage here.
He wants to lose faster.
Gargamel's, out for blood. I don't know. I mean, unless he has a removal spell to follow it up, but
yeah,
then
but he's going to have 2 removal spells.
But then I still don't like then running out the Goyf and not holding up mana.
I see a Thoughtseize.
But then why are you running out mana, or why are you running out this Kalidas and not protecting it with a treetop village against that Liliana that that was in his hand? Right, and then you can then follow up and deploy the Tarmogoyf, or even play the Tarmogoyf first and then sack a treetop village and then play the Kalidas afterwards because it's just so weak on this board.
Right.
In
the past, we have seen John kind of falter under the camera.
Yeah.
It's like the camera curse. Everyone starts misplaying. When
Sorry, I'm getting so agitated. It's just that's what happens when you play these rock decks. If you make one little misplay like that, it's it's a cascade of dominoes. It just kind of falters.
You have to play very tightly in these mirrors.
If he has removal, he gets a token, I'm assuming. No, correct, but I think you still have to play with your hand. You can't play to your outs with the top deck, unfortunately, with these decks.
Well, and here's my question: is
and he knew he had the Liliana
zombie still better than 7/8 Tarmogoyf?
I mean,
no,
on this board, no.
Tarmogoyf is still better than
because it bounces off the other Tarmogoyfs, and then if he's gonna attack, sure, I'll take the Tarmogoyf hit once, but I'm gonna block this tireless tracker.
Right.
Now it's
and he does have the Fatal Push here. So he is going to get the zombie. I still think the Tarmogoyf's just better, isn't it?
I almost here, actually, Activating a treetop village and no. Well, I mean, he can move to blocks and just block the block and trade here at the moment. But doesn't Alex have another? He has 2 more clues. So he'll just get out of range of
I think
blocking here.
Don't you just put everything in front?
No, I think you just jump with the zombie here. Because there's no point.
You can't do this double block, that's for sure.
Yeah, this double block's pointless because he has the clue.
If you're going for the double, you go for the triple.
Right.
I think I like going in John's seat. I think you go for the triple block. Get that thing off the board.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, unfortunately. I think at that point you just jump here or you, like you said, commit the triple block to kill it. Because you see he has the clue.
You certainly can't just throw another creature away for free.
And that's the thing with these decks is that you have to pay attention not only to your board state, but like you see everything that's in front of you. Like there's no hidden information. Like Alex has a few cards in hand, but you can see from his play pattern that he doesn't have removal spells because he would have killed your creatures already.
Right. That's what. Yeah.
So not a big fan of a lot of this.
No, and that's the difference.
Yeah, correct. He should have just jumped there.
You can see the difference between how tight Alex is playing this matchup. John has been on the back foot for most of this match, but I really think that if he's playing tightly, he can probably, he's at least fighting, right? He's in this game. He's not losing necessarily. He is behind, but if he's playing tightly, he can fight back and not just lose like that, that was bad.
Yeah, no, I like that too. Even start growing the Kalidas, but I think I still initially favored there just playing the Tarmogoyf and then protecting it with the Treetop Village from the Liliana.
Right.
Anyways, moving on to John's sideboard, we have 1 Damnation, 1 Grafdigger's Cage, 1 Deathmark, 1 Kalidas Trader of Geth, 1 Language, 1 Bitter Blossom, 2 Surgical Extraction, 1 Nile Spellbomb, 2 Fulminator Mage, 1 Dampening Sphere, 1 Duress, 1 Nissa Vital Force, and 1 Engineered Explosive. What do you like?
I really like...
I like a lot of these cards.
Yeah, I like Bitter Blossom. I like Kalidas, maybe. I like the 2 Surgical Extractions, Nile Spellbomb. There's an argument for Fulminator Mages. There's an argument for Duress. There's an argument for Engineered Explosives. There's an argument for Nissa Vital Force.
So in my opinion, I would go Damnation to wipe his creatures. Deathmark's another good removal spell for for all of his green creatures.
I hadn't even gotten there, but yeah.
Yeah, Kalidas is really good just against any of the things he removes. Language can go either way. I think it's a little too conditional on this because some of his things can grow out of range. Bitter Blossom is great. Surgical and Spellbomb are okay in this matchup, but I
like them for the souls.
For the souls, I guess it's okay, but I'd rather bring in the Fulminator Mage, and I like this Nissa Vital Force. And that EE is really good too.
So in the chat, you get the Nissa Vital Force because it lets you go a lot bigger. Any Arclight decks running around? I know there's at least one.
The Vital Force because it's untaps land and makes a 5/5, and you can start attacking with that 5/5.
Right.
And that really pressures Alex, and you can start going after his Planeswalkers. And the thing about Planeswalkers is that they're card advantage, and card advantage is really good against any of these rock type decks.
So from Abzan here, we got 3 Fulminator Mages, 1 Kalidas, 2 Surgical Extractions, 1 Collective Brutality, 1 Damnation, 1 Maelstrom Pulse, 2 Nile Spellbombs, 1 Engineered Explosives, 1 Dampening Sphere, 2 Stony Silence.
So the Fulminator Mages, I think, are okay in this. Okay from Alex, as John doesn't have as many utility lands as Alex does as far as his manlands are concerned. I do like the Kalidas here. The Brutality is okay. I do like the Damnation, this Maelstrom Pulse. The E is okay. The only thing is that it would kind of sweep up some of Alex's board. But if he's smart, he could try and bait John into kind of overextending and then sweep it up. But other than that, I don't really like... I mean, Alex is pretty much prepared, but I would go Fulminator Mage, Kalidas, Damnation, and Maelstrom Pulse, and Engineer Explosives.
I could get behind that. There's an argument too if you want to fight over the graveyard a bit for some Nile spellbomb action, but because it does replace itself, so there is an argument for if you want to fight over the graveyard a bit. But that's just how much dead weight does Alexander have in the main deck, because he does want to cut a lot of that targeted discard.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Yeah, no. So players are gonna get sideboarded up here, but again, I think we're gonna be in for a grind, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So, get really quick here. Not fan of Damnation in the mid-range mirrors. I mean, the reason I like it is because it's a catch-up.
I like Damnation a lot more from John's side than I do Alexander's side.
Because of Lingering Souls.
Because of Lingering Souls, and I really don't think Alexander's going to be bringing it in here, but I do think John will.
Well, and they're both playing Kalidas, and Kalidas can potentially go wide. And if you have a Kalidas against a big board and you Damnation, you get all those zombies.
Yeah.
Job.
Job, okay. Job.
So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, so...
Oh, so Alexander did bring in the Damnation. Disregard. He is the Abzan king, so he knows.
You know, I like it just because, like, if you fall behind, it's an X for 1. Tokens doesn't make new tokens, unfortunately.
He's talking about it for Kalidas with the Lingering Souls and whatnot.
No, but like if you have a Kalidas against like a big board against theirs, any non-token creature that you destroy when you have your Kalidas out, like when you wipe with the Damnation, you'll get zombies for.
Correct. So we're on a mulligan here for John, which is really bad in these mirrors.
Alex looks like a solid hand. Got that Damnation that we did talk about.
Ritual Suit is an interesting option for Modern.
That is interesting. The only issue is that some of the creatures do get out of range of the 3 mana.
That's an option I want to see for decks that are playing cards like Gurmag Angler and things that are going to survive your own Ritual Suit.
The only issue is that the decks you're playing Gurmag Angler in, you know, you're playing a bunch of other cheap creatures to kind of like accelerate with that.
So we're going to see a turn 2 Bob here from John. So, which if Alexander doesn't have an immediate answer for, it will draw him out of this mulligan.
No, it'll definitely help him out here. Like, Bob is supreme.
So, no end step kill spell here from Alexander. So, that signals to me that he doesn't really... Oh, he does have a Fatal Push, which he is going to use, which isn't the worst for John because he's not... Alexander isn't, like, doing it end step and then playing
Well, I think he realized that he doesn't have a turn 2 play, so he's just going to, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's smart.
He doesn't have a play on 2 is what I was saying.
Yeah. I mean,
another Bob here.
And that's why he's
2-1,
but I mean, you know, he still has a winning percentage. So
yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, again, always tight play from Alex.
End step, we're going to see him fetch up another Temple Garden here.
Getting all his mana fixed up.
Business as usual.
Correct.
And I think that's a collective brutality there.
So, I mean, probably going to fetch another Black Source to be able to cast a Liliana of the Veil here.
That's what he's going to be casting. I'm just trying to see the cards in his hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's going to definitely... His hand's very powerful right now.
Oh, even better.
Look at that.
I like this because now he's on his way to get zombies.
Yeah.
Be wearing a Purity Ring. Dang. Sorry, I'll go knock I'll go knock down Gargamel. I will go knock Gargamel down another peg.
I mean, you can try. He's just going to be riding his Abzan horse.
Oh, damn.
I mean, look at his hand,
Too
bro.
high. Oh, I know. It's stacked. I mean, he doesn't really need to play anything else.
He's just going
to fail push here and just take up this Liliana.
Yeah. So you play your own Scavenging Ooze. Fatal Push his Goose. Take up Liliana past turn.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even Fatal Push the Goose. Do you even care?
I would, because it would outgrow here. Just going to waste the activation then. Oh. Okay. He's going to race, and he's going to force him to use his mana here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. Only things that does hinder, like...
Liliana +1.
Oh, I got it. Okay. So, I mean, it does hinder like future Tarmogoyfs, but it is nice to either force him to commit to Skoo's activations or start casting more spells and then freeing up Alex's Skoo's activations.
Yeah, I hear ya. So we're gonna see a Bitter Blossom here from John. That's again one of the best cards for this matchup from John's side of the table.
Just gives him a perpetual blocker every turn, which is really nice, and then eventually he could potentially overtake him, with all the little fairies, which is nice.
Yes, they're both running trophy.
I would assume so. Definitely from John, no doubt. Alex, I would just assume so. Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, Alex is playing trophy.
Yeah. Alex is not. Alex cut his.
I swear to God, I just saw him play one earlier.
We'll confirm with Gargamel.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
He wasn't on Wednesday.
Well, today's not Wednesday, Captain Stabbin'. Now is it? Today's Sunday, maybe. Put it back in.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hating on the chat here.
Yeah. What? Fight me.
So you brought that collector brutality? I'm surprised because I don't really like discard in the mirror match.
No, yeah, that seems a bit odd to me.
I was going to lose another one, get another fairy token here, draw a card. Another land off the top, unfortunately.
Yeah, John's hand is an E, a land, and what is that, a Collective Brutality?
Collective Brutality.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could play the E for 2, but unfortunately that does blow up his Bitter Blossom.
I mean, EE for 2 seems really bad on this board.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that's annoying in these rock matchups is that EE for 2 is like the end-all be-all because everything is for 2. But John needs to start attacking that Liliana here at some point because otherwise he's going to get run over by a horde of zombies.
Yep, he sure is. Not only that, his hand is dead. B, Alexander's board is farther ahead than his by a lot. And C, Alexander's hand is way better.
Ooh, and so we see a second mismatched Bitter Blossom.
That wasn't a Collective Brutality. That was a Bitter Blossom.
Okay.
So he's going to be losing 2 and making 2 1/1s every turn.
So, I mean, he's going to potentially start pulling ahead here, but...
No, he's not, because this Liliana is about to emblem.
Correct, so we're just going to see a horde of zombies coming out
So
here.
if we don't see exactly Assassin's Trophy or Abrupt Decay this turn, the game's just going to be over.
Correct.
No, the EE is not going to get rid of the Liliana, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
He has to find one of his 2-mana answers here. Which it looks like, just because he didn't play it, it's not there.
Agreed. That's right. I think like that Ritualist Soot wouldn't be like a bad idea.
Well, Ritualist Soot doesn't do anything in this scenario.
No,
he did. He found the Maelstrom Pulse. There it is.
Lucky.
That's step 1. Now, here, the other thing is, he is on a clock from his own Bitter Blossoms.
True, but he's gonna like start potentially nullifying these Lingering Souls tokens. But I think Alex is gonna just start trying to like attack through them.
No, he's not. He's just gonna try and contain them, I think, and let John kill himself, basically.
I mean, then
taking 2 a turn from your own creatures to see, now he's gonna be going down to 5-4. Gonna be going down to 2
6?
on his turn, 3 on his turn. There it is.
He took 6 here, right?
Yeah, this game's just about over here.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Alex is going to sit here in a holding pattern and just let John die to himself.
Right, burn yourself out, friend. He's got a damnation, so even if John were to like make a whole bunch before at some point, he just wipes the board and says, start again.
Mm-hmm. So here comes an E for 0. Or for 2. Oh, okay. So he's going to try and save himself here.
No, but he knows the writing's on the wall there.
Oh, okay. Just going to let it go here.
Yep.
Alrighty.
That's kind of how I expected that matchup to go. I do believe that Abzan is very favored on that matchup.
No, correct, because he has Lingering Souls, but the Bitter Blossoms did try to rival it, but unfortunately it did put surmountable pressure on himself to close the game out quickly, and it kind of bit him in the butt.